This is a story of how I almost lost all of my hard-earned cash in the crypto market. A big company that allows you to buy and sell cryptocurrencies, Voyager, just announced that they are going to be pausing all deposits and withdrawals on their platform, which means many people will not be seeing that money that they put into their Voyager accounts. That money will just be gone forever. So why did I decide to put a lot of my cash in crypto instead of just holding it in my bank account or putting it in a different investment? Well, I saw the recent run back in late 2021 and things were looking great for cryptocurrencies, especially the things like Bitcoin and Ethereum. The prices were extremely high and a lot of people were feeling really good about it, and I was looking in from the sidelines and I'm thinking, wow, a lot of people are making a huge amount of money. Maybe I should get involved with this. And so I did. I put a lot of my money into my Voyager account after doing careful research about various companies that are going to let you buy and sell these cryptocurrencies. There were a couple of companies I was deciding between, but Voyager is the one that I landed on because of the 9% annual interest rate that I could be earning for holding money in USDC or United States coin. USDC is basically a United States dollar coin, which is supposed to be a one-for-one trade from United States dollars to United States dollars coin. And so this meant that for every dollar that I put into Voyager and invested in USDC, that's how many coins I got. And I basically was invested in cryptocurrencies without really having any risk or any risk that I thought of at the time. I thought Voyager was a pretty solid company. It was trading in the stock market right now as a publicly traded company. I thought everything is going to be fine. You know, Voyager has a lot of different companies backing them. There's pretty much no reason to think that this company will ever fail. Well, I was definitely wrong about Voyager possibly failing, but I'm glad that I realized it before things got really bad. So I chose USDC to invest in instead of Bitcoin or Ethereum. I just thought this would be a pretty safe bet because I knew that I really could not lose money. If I just held what the cryptocurrency equivalent was to cash in my account, there was no possible way that I could lose money. But with Bitcoin and Ethereum, like, things were at an all-time high right now, right around the end of 2021. And so I'm thinking maybe there's a chance that those can fall, but I know with this stable coin, I am not going to be losing money. And so I decided to invest in it. Not just because I couldn't lose money, but because Voyager promised that I would be making a 9% annual return on my money that I had invested in this coin. The promises were so high and I was loving that. I decided to put in 25% of our cash on hand into United States dollar coin, and I was feeling pretty good about it. A few months passed and there were no issues. I was receiving the 9% annual return on my money, and I was like, you know what, I want to earn a little more. And so I put in about 50% of our cash on hand that came from our bank account, and now it was in our Voyager account. And I was feeling very happy about this. I was earning a bunch of money every single month coming in. It felt like passive income. I really did not have to do anything, and then at the beginning of a new month I would receive a new deposit into my account that I would reinvest back into this coin, and then I would earn even more money the following month. I felt so good about this. I was having a great time making this money, but then everything changed. The cryptocurrency market started to fall along with the overall investment markets. The stock market was going down huge ever since the start of 2022 as inflation rose and just other problems in the economy got worse. The stock market was taking a huge plunge, but the cryptocurrency market was taking an even bigger hit. Bitcoin and Ethereum, they both fell pretty hard and they continued to fall hard. And things weren't looking really great for people that invested in these assets. But for me, I was not losing any money. I was just continuing to earn more and more money every single month. I felt pretty smart about my decision, but I probably shouldn't have felt too smart, because this 9% annual rate of return that I was receiving, it really wasn't sustainable, especially in a market that was crashing. The only reason that Voyager was able to give me a 9% annual rate of return is because they were using my money that I invested, and they were taking that and they were investing it somewhere else, and they were getting a larger rate of return on their money. That's really how that works. That's why they were able to give me such a high interest rate. And things did not go over so well when these companies that was working with Voyager, they started seeing their assets fall in price. Voyager wasn't the first company to come crashing down. There's actually another one called Celsius. On June 13th, they announced that they would be pausing deposits and withdrawals on their platform because the people that they were getting money from, or that they were lending their money out to, they had serious problems with this recent crash. They were losing money like crazy, and they weren't able to pay back Celsius, which means Celsius was not able to pay back their customers, which meant Celsius paused all transactions, and now their customers had their money frozen and they were not able to get it out of their accounts. And it's an extremely sad situation. Many people that trusted Celsius, they could no longer get their money out. And I was really scared about this because I was really close to putting all my money into Celsius instead of Voyager. And now I realized my safe investment is not very safe anymore. This 9% annual rate of return that I'm earning does seem a little unsustainable. And so I really thought about if this was the right decision for me to continue to invest in this way. So on that same day, June 13th, I decided to pull out all of my money from Voyager. Voyager had not said that there were any problems, and they said actually in an email the following day that they thought that they were going to operate completely normally. Everything was going to be okay. It is completely fine for their customers to continue to trade with them, and there's no reason to panic. Even though Voyager was so confident in their abilities, I still thought it was the best decision for me and my family to take that money out of Voyager and just simply keep it in my regular bank account instead of invested, even though I was losing out on some pretty good rate of return of my money. That was on June 13th, but less than 3 weeks later, Voyager announced that they would be pausing all deposits and withdrawals, which means all of the customers that still had money in their platform, they could not take it out. Their money was stuck, and who knows when it's actually going to become available, if it ever does become available. This is so crushing for a lot of people. Over 1 million accounts are open on Voyager with money invested in their account, and they may never see that money again. Voyager is basically claiming that the company that they lent out money to, Three Arrows Capital, they were unable to pay back their huge loans that they took out from Voyager, and because of that, in the falling crypto market, Voyager is not going to be able to honor all of the withdrawals that the customers have, and so they need to pause for right now. That's what they're saying. They say they're going to get back up and running at some point, but I just don't know if that's going to be the case. Voyager also said that if you had United States dollars on their platform, not invested in a cryptocurrency, they said it was going to be FDIC insured, which basically means that if your money disappears for whatever reason, you're going to be able to get that money back due to laws from the federal government in the United States. But we don't know if that's actually true, because I've just been on Twitter reading some of the comments, and people are saying that because of the way the contracts are written up that you have to sign before you start investing in Voyager, it looks like people aren't going to be able to get that money back either. I am extremely glad that I was able to pull out my money when I could. I'm happy that I was on top of the news, that I could be able to even hear that something like this was going on, and I was able to get my money before it was all locked up on Voyager. And it does feel good to have my money in my bank account, but I am extremely sad for those people that are not able to get their money out, and you might be one of the people watching this video right now that have money locked up in there. I'm very sorry that you may be having to deal with this. It's just a really horrible situation. But I guess we can all learn from this a little bit. We have to be extremely safe on where we decide to invest our money. Typically I like to invest just in the S&P 500. The S&P 500 just basically tracks the overall performance of the market, and it just seems like a pretty safe place to put my money. Unlike this other thing that I thought was so safe that could come crashing down at any second, this idea of investing in the S&P 500 is actually a pretty solid plan, and when there are huge crashes in the market, there is a long history of the stock market recovering from this and then continuing to make investors more money. So that is where I'm going to continue to invest my money that I have in the market, and I am so glad that I didn't take money out of that to invest more money into cryptocurrency when I had the chance, because it could have all just disappeared if I wasn't careful enough. If you like videos about money, I want to occasionally make new videos about investing, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time.